official here.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today's guest is one of the coolest cats to ever orbit the rock and radio universe. He's a man whose life reads like a rock documentary with a killer soundtrack. Born and bred in Hollywood during the electric chaos of the 70s and 80s, he grew up with a front row seat to the birth of the music video era. His father was one of the heavy hitters shaping the visual language of rock and pop. He didn't just watch the music rise, he lived it. In the late 80s, he was a singer on the Sunset Strip, cutting his chops with hair metal, punk, and glam converged. In the 90s, he brought his voice to packed bars in Hawaii. Later, he chased the grit and soul of New Orleans, performing nightly on Bourbon Street as the Crescent City pulsed beneath his feet. And then he became more than a performer. He became a voice in your car, your headphones, your day, as a DJ on radio stations that know rock matters. Today, he's shredding the airwaves on 104.7 The Cave in Missouri and still tearing up stages with one of the most popular 80s tribute bands around, Machine Gun Symphony, where they average a good chunk of change every show they play, 60 times a year. From Hollywood to Bourbon Street to rock radio, this man has lived more musical incarnations than most of us have playlists. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the one, the only, Jay Stevens.
That's where the pyro was supposed to go up. And pyro didn't work today. That was a beautiful intro, Brad. Thank you,
brother.
You. And nice to virtually meet you, man.
Absolutely.
Big fan of the channel. I mean, I don't know how I came across it. It showed up in my feed, and your voice is just so soothing. And then when you started interviewing these guys like Randy O and Adam, who so many people wondered what happened to Randy O after that documentary, Decline of the Western Civilization. So many people, and there you go. Now you know what happened to him, But before we go deeper, let's clear the air before the comment section blows up. I know you deal with this a lot. Yes, the hair is real.
Oh,
the
wow.
hair is real.
Dude.
It's receding a little more than I was 25, a little more thinner, but
dude,
I'm holding on. 56, and I'm holding on for still.
Dude, and I saw some clips of you guys playing, and you're ripped.
Yeah. I work out every weekday morning, and I do jiu-jitsu every day at noon. I was actually supposed to be in a jiu-jitsu tournament this morning, but it got canceled because there's a big snowstorm out here. I had a show last night. That's why I look like such a ghoul today. Slept a few hours, and then tonight's show got canceled because it's out of town, and there's snow everywhere today.
Well, we got a show right here, man.
Yeah, no snow, no show, baby. Let's go. Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
What's cool about your channel is everybody knows the stories of the big names, the Motleys, the Guns, but there's so many people that came up in that era that maybe for some reason or not didn't make it to the next level, but are still like, Randy O is a successful businessman. You talked about Tough, those guys are still trying to keep it going. A friend of mine, Steve Summers, Pretty Boy Floyd, you should have him on. He's had that, admittedly a C-list band that he's kept going all these years. And so many of us have been able to still make a career. I've got super fortunate. I don't know how I got so lucky because both my jobs aren't real jobs. I'm a radio DJ during the day, and then on weekends, we're out playing, and we don't have to travel more than 3-hour radius. And like you said, we're doing, close to 60 shows every year and getting paid top dollar for an 80s tribute. Basically going out there and, Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, And they act like we are Guns N' Roses when we show up. I mean, festivals, huge crowds,
That's amazing. And I think that's an important point you just made because there's a lot of tribute acts that try to copy one particular band. But that's limiting your focus.
Totally.
You guys cover a whole decade.
Yes, all the hits.
And hey, you know what? If you got to a gig and the crowd wasn't quite as metal, I'm sure you've got maybe some stuff that's a little more pop that you
Yeah. We try to stay away from the real poppy stuff. Like there's an 80s tribute out here that's pretty popular too, and they do the poppy stuff. Michael Jackson, Pat Benatar, all that. We try to stick with that straight Hollywood, Sunset Strip, besides the Bon Jovi and the Skid Row. And then the only new song or modern song that we do play is Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry, just because it fits that genre. And every night, Paradise City is one of our biggest songs every night, and Crazy Bitch is one of our biggest songs. The girls just go crazy. And
Yeah.
then you see a video, I take my shirt off, they stuff my pants with money. It's like what Adam was doing with Paradise kind of back in the day, like a
Yeah.
strip show, basically.
Yeah. And that's, you know what? That's what's missing from rock and roll is the sex appeal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we were all, boy toys or whatever you want to call it back in the day, swinging things or whatever you want to call it. But
I'm still a boy toy
you're
at 56.
you're still doing it, and that's incredible, man. Because that is missing from everything. Even going back to the 50s with Elvis and the Idols, back in those days. It was all about, providing a show for the ladies, and then the dudes were going to be there just
Right.
because there were so many
I mean,
ladies there.
that's Poison's whole business model, because Poison was not a great musicianship band. Bret Michaels is not a great singer, but boy, they sure hit it on the head, man, at the right time. And just, I mean, there, like I said, Bret Michaels still, we've opened for Bret Michaels. Whenever national bands come through town, they have us open because we have a huge local mailing list, obviously, Facebook mailing list of 80s rock fans here in this state. So it's Dawkins, Stryper, Buck Cherry, Bret Michaels, they'll have us always open these shows. And, you know,
That's a key thing that I'm trying to teach people. I had a booking agent reach out to me recently, and they're complaining that there's too many tribute bands, but I think that's because they're tribute bands that are focused on one band.
yeah. Like my buddies in LA do a Van Halen tribute, Van Halen.
Yeah.
And I mean, spot on. These guys look great, amazing. And, but, after Jumpin' Panama, only guys like me and you are gonna know the rest of the song. That the 22-year-old girls, they tune out, man. I'd see it all the time. I was in a Bon Jovi tribute for a while, and we would play shows with them. And even with the Bon Jovi tribute, although there's a few more hits there with that, still they would tune out if you're doing, Blood on Blood or something like that, which is
So
a great song, but those young girls don't know it.
yeah, that's a great point. You guys get to play the best songs of
The
all
best
the
of the best.
bands.
And I can sound just like the different singers, whether it's Axl, Sebastian, AC/DC, Bon Jovi. For some reason, I'm able, A, to still hit those notes, and B, to shape the sound to sound just like those dudes. So when people walk in, I see it all the time. I'll see like a middle-aged guy come, and we're starting to do maybe a Motley Crue song. And I see them looking like, oh no, is this going to sound like 2026 Motley Crue or 1986 Motley Crue? And then when I start singing, they go, oh, I just see this them light up. But like, this is what it's supposed to sound like. Now, granted, we use a lot of tracks. Every song has tons of tracks. And, but the tracks also trigger, we have a light show and a video show that we travel with. And those tracks fire all that.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's a testimony. One, I can already tell, and I watched the clip, so I already know you're a great front man and you can sing your ass off and all that. But if I was auditioning singers in LA at 1998, 1989, 92, whatever,
Yeah.
somewhere in that era, and you walked in the door,
Yeah.
the
No problem.
Energy level
Job, got the job. Yeah. Charisma. I have that star factor or whatever, the X
confidence
factor. Yeah. Yeah.
works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Got good body. Right. Yeah. The whole, I try to be the whole package. And granted, again, at 56 years old, very hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
eat right. The only time I ever drink is during shows. I don't drink during the week,
Yeah.
never smoked, never a huge drug guy. But I just feel like presenting the most professional package, and that's why we get top dollar gigs and we play so much, is because it's a whole show. We have the cold spark machines and everything going off. It's next level for sure.
And
For a bar band.
Yeah, and how is it, with getting players? I know I can tell right away you're the leader of this band, right?
Yeah. Well, the me and the bass player kind of run the thing. He's a original member. This band's been going on for 20 years.
Wow.
I came in 2017. I had moved to Missouri in 2013. and started doing radio here. I did a Bon Jovi tribute in Branson. I don't know if you're familiar with Branson.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a little music town.
Yeah.
I did 2 years of theater there, doing a Bon Jovi tribute. And then I saw this band, Machine Gun Symphony, doing their thing, and the singer wasn't that great. They came from a signed band in the 90s called Johnny Q Public.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that. They had an album out, they had a video on MTV, and this was the remnants of that band as a joke put together an 80s tribute for one show, and they made so much money that they just kept on doing it. But the singer wasn't that great, so when they parted ways with him, it was just a natural fit. And so I kind of stepped in, and so him and I basically run the operation, yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you guys are great. I've seen clips, and here's the thing, man. I even just doing this interview, I all I had to do was watch about 30 seconds of you on one of your podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, all my life I've been just a natural entertainer. And so that's what I was getting to, is it's crazy to all these years later to still be making money and not really having a regular job and just being myself. The radio show, I'm just myself entertaining. It's just me being a singer on the air, basically, and then the band. And those two jobs add up to a decent job, I'm not buying private jets, but I mean, if I want something, I buy it, I'm not struggling at all. I take care of my kids, and stuff like that. And we don't have to travel more than a 3-hour radius, which is key. So if we do, if we have a back-to-back out of town, yeah, we stay in a hotel, but we're not leaving our kids for a week, or we're not, I've thought very seriously about auditioning for that Skid Row position, right? Because I can sound just like Sebastian, but it's like, man, I've played with these bands. I know it's a 3 a.m. lobby call after the show. The show ends, everybody's going straight to bed. Nobody's partying or having a good time. Nobody's hanging out with chicks like you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
They all go straight to the room. 3 a.m. they're in the lobby. Then they take an hour ride shuttle to the airport, ride on planes all day. And sometimes you got to sing that next night. That's so unconducive for a singer.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I don't know, what are they paying the singer? Are they really paying him that much? I have a feeling those guys aren't splitting the money equally in that band,
Yeah, you
and
definitely.
doing this, I can make $800,000 a night just staying locally.
Yeah.
Because we have Lake of the Ozarks. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Havasu type thing, but it's so many bars and people that come from all the surrounding states that there's just gigs. I mean, every bar has a band playing, and like I said, we're one of the top drawing bands up there as well. So,
Wow.
but those shows are 4 and 5 hours though.
Yeah,
yeah. They're outside in the heat. Hour 5, fifth set, man. At this one place, you got to be in shape, man.
It'll keep you lean, and this is a good interview because a lot of times I'll focus on kind of the doom and gloom of the landscape that we're in.
Yeah, I've seen a few of yours, which you're very correct.
But important thing that I'm trying to tell these people is you've got to make something undeniable. Yeah. You can't just go out there with your khakis and your Hawaiian shirt and didn't take a shower and show up for the gig and expect to make, decent money. And it'd be the same thing if you were an original act. You've got to hustle. You've got to have drive. You've got to look good when you go out there. You've got to put forth. You make a big spectacle, not just Joe Blow with his acoustic boring you to death with the ballads about the girl that dumped him last week.
Exactly. Or the guys that show up looking like they work at a tire shop or something, and then they have like one LED light that's just doing the red, green, blue road. It's nothing worse. And then even the worst, the top number one, I hate the most, the iPad on the mic stand.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're filling in or something, or you're doing a, session, but if you're doing this as a career, you can learn the words, man. You can learn the words.
Because you guys got, you guys have a set thing. It's not like you get on the gig and somebody calls some random Stevie Wonder song that you need an iPad.
No. It's precise. We've got like 50 songs, and like I said, they're all to tracks, and we bring our own light show and our video shows. So it's the same show people are going to come and see every night,
Yeah.
And they have a good time. Make sure everybody has a good time.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And I think a testimony to we've got another area with the Ozarks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you're a musician looking for work, every bar up there, I mean, and there's tons of bars. They all have bands, daytime bands, nighttime bands, and there's
Wow.
unlimited work. My buddy who's in a '90s tribute out here, he does a lot of booking for these local bands, and he makes a killing just taking 10% from all these bands that he's booking up there. You know.
Wow. So that's something I didn't realize, man, because you know Nashville's popping,
Right,
right?
right. I would assume that's how Bourbon Street scene kind of is. The Bourbon Street experience was wild because I went to New Orleans for radio, and I was doing a radio show, but it was just part time. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go bartend on Bourbon Street. That seems to be where the action is. So I did that, and they have bands. This was 2001. They have bands at all the bars playing. And so on the break, the band would come over and hang out, and I started talking with them. And yeah, I'm a singer, this and that. And so they said, "Well, get up and sing a song with us." And I got up and did Bon Jovi or something. And they were like, "Why are you bartending? You should be singing." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I just moved here." So they're like, "All right, you're in." And this was the craziest scene. Now, I don't know if Nashville's like this or not, but you'd get a call in the morning. "Hey, tonight you're at so and so bar. Set time is 9 o'clock." You show up at this bar. Sometimes you meet these guys for the first time. Sometimes maybe you've played with them before. "Hey, my name's Jay. What are we starting with? Free? All right now? Okay, let's go."
Yeah,
And you do a 4 hour set.
yeah,
And then the brutal one was it's a 24-hour town. So sometimes you'd start at 1 in the morning and you're playing until 5 in the morning.
yeah.
And when you've sang Back in Black for the third time and it's 5 in the morning and the vomit smell from Bourbon Street's coming in,
Uh,
that's that you're putting your work in there, man.
yeah, yeah. But that's a lot like Nashville, man. It'd be the same thing. You get the call, especially all the guys that work down on Broadway. That's you
That's just how
show
it
up.
is.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Call off tunes and you just go. And that's wild, man. Now, do you think Bourbon Street in New Orleans is still popping like it
I
was?
don't know. I was there until Katrina, and then Katrina, we ran away from Katrina thinking we'd come back the next day, and we never got to go back. Lost everything, you know? Yeah, that whole story is just a crazy one as well. So I haven't been back there. I would like to go back. I've been talking about wanting to go back just to experience it again because, at the time I was younger and just being wild and crazy, and didn't really get to soak in like what the city has. But I'd be
Yeah,
curious if it's all DJs now or if it's still bands. I'd be curious about that.
yeah.
I'm
That's
surprised that you and I didn't cross paths in LA because the problem that there was two problems with me and with the whole Sunset Strip making it big thing was one, I was a little younger than all you guys, so I wasn't cool enough to get a fake ID. I couldn't get into all the bars to network. I didn't live in Hollywood, I lived kind of on the outskirts, and at 18 years old I was 18 in 1987.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was back there, but and then also I was in a very toxic relationship, which really screwed a lot of stuff. Which was a lot of the going back from LA to Hawaii for years. So never staying in
Ah,
one spot either. But
yeah,
I'm surprised because, I would go see Tough. I'd go see Hot Wheels with Robbie Crane on bass.
yep,
When he was
yep.
doing that. But I mean, who knows? Possibly we crossed paths, but
We
didn't know it.
we probably did. We
Did you
probably
know?
did.
Did you know Rick Fox back then?
I didn't know Rick back then, but certainly would see him, at the Rainbow and stuff like that.
Boy, that guy was a good-looking dude back in the day. What a picture-perfect bass player.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, him and Ron Keel, they picked Ingve up from the airport when he first came.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was just with Rick last night. He gets up and does a Poison song with us every night. So
Ah,
yeah, you'll have to interview him. He's got some stories, man. I mean, he's been on stage with everybody, Dio, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. He's got some great stories, man.
yeah. I'm definitely going to have him on, man, and I'm thankful that you reached out and made that connection as well. But man, I had to talk about you because tell me about being a front man and being a DJ. What's the correlation there?
Bro, how perfect is that combination, though? You know what I'm saying? I'm on the air every day talking to, like, I don't know, roughly 100,000 people, and I hype up the band, and it's cross. I'll meet people out, and they either know me from the radio or the band or both.
Wow.
Um, So it's a perfect, it's basically free advertising for
Yeah.
every show, right? It's super glitch in the matrix, And
Yeah.
I'm like the #1 rated DJ. It's a classic rock station. And radio's still alive.
Yeah.
People don't think it is, but radio's still alive. Maybe not in big cities, maybe, but out here, radio's still alive and thriving. And we have apps too, so you can even listen. If you listen to my show, you'll hear yourself too, because I made 2 sweepers off of 2 funny things that you said, and I made 2 little Jay Stevens show sweepers, and it's got your voice on there, so you'll get a kick out of them if you listen.
I'll have to check that out. Send me a link to that if
I
you get a
will.
chance.
But so if you're curious about how did I get into radio from being a singer, is that the question?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is. If we had hours, man, I tell you, I could entertain you for hours with all the stories, man. Like I said, my dad made music videos, so I kind of came up hanging around with Rick Springfield, Stevie Nicks. I just saw Rick 2 months ago. He was played a show here, and he had me out, and I've known him since I was like 13 years old. Be backstage at the Meadowlands Arena, and him and my dad would just drag me around. Stevie Nicks came and stayed at our house in Hawaii for a week when I was in high school. Like
Wow.
I think he was sleeping with her on the side, but I'm not sure. But my dad was a Hollywood player for sure.
Wow.
He did Tom Petty videos. Just tons of those early cheesy '80s videos were his.
Can you name any specific ones?
Yeah, Billy Joel Pressure. He won an award for that one.
Wow.
I'm in a couple videos. I'm in Joel Wall's Space Age Whiz Kid. Whenever they needed a kid, they'd stick me in. I'm in Fleetwood Mac Gypsy video. He did that. Tom Petty was it. Not the Waiting, Woman in Love. I think that live doc. There was a whole documentary with Cameron Crowe. He was buddies with Cameron Crowe and Danny Bramson. So these guys were all high school buddies. And then he got into the video, and Cameron got into the movies and stuff. So I'm living in Hawaii now. This is back. I guess it would have been right before I went to New Orleans, so around 2000. And I wrote a funny rap rock song about a guy coming from the mainland to Hawaii looking for a party. And so I took it to the radio station. I go, yo, you guys might want to play this. It's pretty good. And it ended up being like the most requested song ever there. So they're like, we want to put you on this compilation album. I'm like, awesome. And then they go, we want to give you a radio show on Saturday nights. And I go, I've never done it, but I'll be awesome at it, right? So I was like, yeah, I just imagined David Lee Roth on the radio, and so that's what I do. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I did that on Saturdays. That led to me doing 6 nights a week, and I'm like, this is great. I was doing a rock and roll comedy show, a 1-man acoustic show down the street at a bar on off nights. I would sing in cover band stuff at another place, and then do the radio. And then that radio station was going to go under, and at the same time, the toxic relationship baby mama wanted to move to New Orleans anyway. So even though we weren't together, we would live in the same state for the kids,
Yeah.
So I go, all right, I'll go to New Orleans. So I sent my demo in advance to that radio station, and same thing. Started on Saturday nights, and then ended up doing 6 nights a week.
Wow.
The radio thing is just another extension of my wild personality,
And once you get in at one station, you've got your kind of, here's what I've done.
Yeah.
And
A little resume.
Here's my numbers. Same
with you, like with the when you're doing those country tours,
Yeah.
Once you do one, then hey, Brad's the guy. Oh, you need a guitar player, call Brad. He'll do this tour.
You become,
that must have been a lot of fun doing those country tours, dude.
Pretty wild, dude. I would say that it can be as wild as any rock tour.
Yeah.
It can be maybe more grueling because here's the thing, man. The rock bands, you're a member of a band. When you're a side man, you're just there, and showers and hygiene and stuff like that are kind of like the last thing anyone above you is thinking about. So you're really kind of fending for yourself, in a lot of ways. But as far as after parties and stuff like that, if you're with an artist that wants that to happen or knows that that's part of the whole thing, it can be as wild as you can imagine.
That's great, man. I was kind of bummed that some of these guys doing these big tours, like as bass players and stuff, they're not making that much money, and they're playing arenas. I was really amazed at that fact,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is, if you're just starting out, it's really piss low.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where $300 a man was kind of the standard thing, and some guys would get a little bump up that. But then you've got
Per diem.
the big, well, you've got the big acts that nobody really knows what they're paying any of those guys.
So like Jelly Roll. So like Jelly Roll's guitar
Well,
player.
imagine Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, those kind of guys that play for those acts. They never tell you how much they're making.
And I think a lot of those guys, aren't they like kind of legacy? They've been with them the whole time.
That's kind of the thing. So you hope that they're being taken care of, but they'll never tell you like what they're actually making. And everybody knows the mid-level acts generally pay, $150 to $300 to maybe $500.
Wow.
And then everything else is who knows what they're making. You hope that they're making bank, and I would imagine Taylor Swift, you're making bank.
She takes care of her players. Yeah,
she takes care of
my buddy is in Journey. He's like the backup keyboard player, and he sings a couple songs with them every night. He was never even in a band before Journey. That's another. I've got the craziest stories, dude. I meet some characters, man. But yeah, he's in Journey right now, and we don't talk about money, but he seems to be doing pretty decent. That him and Neil are pretty tight. I think they're kind of grooming him to be the next singer if Arnell dips out. I mean, that's kind of the vibe that is out there because he sings a couple songs each night.
Yeah, and now with Arnell potentially.
It's real weird stuff going on in that camp for sure.
Have you heard anything?
I mean, he keeps posting like, you guys have fun. I know they did that Super Bowl thing without any singer. Dean's got a great voice too, though. I mean, gosh, that dude's a killer.
There was that Wings of Pegasus guy.
Yep.
And he did a vocal analysis of that drum singing performance. And I know the dude can sing, and he's an incredible drummer, and and sometimes with the constraints of
AI tweaking,
it seemed like every note made it to pitch on the graph, every single note. And
I do know a lot of these bands. There's a new thing that I'm assuming this is what Motley Crue is now using, because all of a sudden he's sounding better, and somebody else is using it too. But it's like it's almost like auto-tune, but it's AI, but it's live. Oh, Jovi, that's what I was thinking, Bon Jovi. Because remember, all of a sudden, Bon Jovi couldn't tour no more, couldn't sing, and all of a sudden they're going to tour again. I think you just can get close, and the AI will. I think it's in real time. I think this is a thing out there now. So
I had heard back in the Shania Twain days when she was a huge, artist, that they had a rack of like tuning devices in the live rack. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but back then you would have to have one rack for each song because they were all
for each song,
because of the keys. This
now
one's set up for E and this one's set up for G.
Now I think it's them. I always thought that Motley Crue should hire my buddy, this guy Timmy that sings for a Motley Crue tribute in LA. They're called True to Crew. It's the same guys as Van Halen. They do a Motley Crue one, so they'll double bill and just change singers out and costumes. But Timmy did the vocals for that Dirt movie. He did all the like the rehearsal singing and stuff. I thought they should just hire him to stand backstage and just sing the songs, man, because he sounds like a young Vince,
I mean, when you see these legacy acts, and you got to love them because they're legends and they created the music that, you're playing and all that. But, it's something to know that, hey, you can fight Father Time, but if you partied like a rock star for 30 years.
It takes its toll, dude.
It takes its toll. I mean, what do you think about David Lee Roth these days?
Oh, gosh. How wild has that stuff been? He's really lost his mind, I feel now. But, hey, man, he's David Lee Roth, though. Like, whenever I see, like, a video podcast, there'll be, like, some guys will be critiquing, talking crap about Vince Neil. And I'm like, man, first of all, it's like 3 middle-aged dudes, out of shape guys, and they've got a video vlog with barely any views. I'm like, and you guys this is one of the greatest legends of heavy metal ever. Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. Is he not the same? He's not the same. But, dude, it's Vince Neil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't expect people to sound like they did when they were 20 forever.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm able to still hit the notes. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe clean living and working out or something.
That's it. That's the key.
the crazy thing is if I would have met you in '89 or whatever, I wasn't as good as I am today at all. I
Yeah.
was still kind of finding I was a guitar player that had to end up singing because we could never find a singer.
Yeah.
And then I heard Bon Jovi and I was like, oh, well, I can sound like that dude, so I guess I'll sing.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while to find your voice and develop it.
Yeah, for sure. For
You
sure.
know, and the thing is, man, doing all these gigs, doing that gig down in Bourbon Street where you're singing till 5 in the morning or whatever.
That builds them muscles, man. That's like a gym.
It builds those muscles, and now for you to go out and do your regular set, or if you a night where you had to do 90 minutes, man, you could go 90 minutes just hard as
I would wish we could only do 90-minute shows, but somehow these bars, they want 4 hours, and this one wants 5 hours out there in Lake of the Ozarks, and it's outside, and it's brutal, man. It's a tough one, but
But do you hit the gym the next morning after you've depleted?
No, I will hit the gym some days on show days if it's an easy day, but if it's a tough one, no. The problem is I don't sleep in. Even if I go to bed at 4, I still wake up like 7 in the morning because my body's used to being at the gym at 7:30.
Wow.
So it's like my body wakes up ready to go, and and you need sleep as a singer. So that's kind of that's a little battle that I have to. And of course the girlfriend likes sleep too, so she's there with us, and she doesn't want me waking up early. The band hates it. I go down to the lobby of these hotels, and I sit there and have coffee at the little breakfast buffet in these crappy hotels and talk to the old ladies and stuff, looking with eyeliner on and glitter on from the night before,
What do they say?
Oh, they love me, man. They love me. I'm a funny guy, and I can relate to everybody.
Yeah.
They might be a little judgy at first, but I'll make them laugh.
Yeah. Once you disarm people,
oh yeah,
and realize that you're not trying to look like a bad person, you're just trying to be an entertainer.
Yeah, and I'm a character. And I'm very easy to make fun of and spoof, and I embrace that.
Yeah.
I don't take myself seriously. Well, no, I'm a serious problem. No, I'm a character and a spectacle, and that's hey, it works though.
That's one of the great ways to disarm people. People try to cut you down and say something, and they think that they're going to get your goat, and when you just turn it around on them and be like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what can they do at that point?
I'm just there to have fun. What's funny about you, Brett, is when you do your solo ones where you just talk, you have this low, smoothing voice like this. But when you do interviews, you're up like this, and you're a higher register, and you're a different energy level.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, it's it comes down to time of day. A lot of times, when I first started, the channel kind of popping, it would be I'd be in here and try not to wake the family, but get some content done. And so I would, I kind of, talk in a more quiet way. But an interview, and especially interviewing you, I can't do this.
No, I wouldn't let you. I wouldn't let you. I would take my shirt off and get this party going. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. So it comes down to moods and capturing the moods. And as far as selling something, and I could, if somebody were to, all of a sudden go, we love this band, this project you did, and we're going to fly you out to come do these big shows, and we want you to do an interview and all that. I would do exactly what you do, turn into David Lee Roth.
Yeah. You have to.
David Lee Roth, Muhammad Ali, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Those three guys are salesmen.
Yeah.
They were skilled at what singer, boxer, wrestler. They were skilled at those things, but they were salesmen first.
Yep.
And that's what made them successful.
And then having the skills to back it up, that's where it all comes into play. If you got all this, the showbiz and the flash and the pizzazz, and then you can back it up with talent, then it's like, the world's open to you. That's what, when I saw that Paradise interview with Adam, I was like, same thing. You wonder where they're at, because I remember, now there was 2 Paradises apparently.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Paradise, I knew both of them.
Paradise, yeah. But I would see, in BAM, full page spread. Just like when I first got to LA, Warrant, it was like their last big full page spread because they had just got signed and they were going. Tough was supposed to be next in line. All these other bands, and you're like, these bands were right there, so huge in LA at the time. Whatever happened to them? And he's done really good, basically being himself too, being a voice actor, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see this. That's why I dig your channel. It's cool to see what these guys, how everybody kind of evolved from that. Some people stayed in music, some people didn't stay in music,
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice, man. I was born and bred in this. I can't do nothing else, so I had to make it work.
Yeah, that's I think the important thing. Maybe some people don't have the chutzpah or whatever you want to call it to be able to be an entertainer, but also be able to do like you and sell it. And look, it wouldn't matter if you were, say, I don't know, let's think some kind of modern metal band you were in.
Okay.
You would still tune this energy into a way to be able to sell that product. And the other thing is, if you go into a venue, let's say you go to a new town, or you going to go into a new market, and you go sit down with the bartender or the guy booking the place. If you come in with that energy, show them that you're hustling. Hey man, I'm hustling. I got a following. We got this. Here's our photos. Here's the thing. Boom. It's undeniable. You can play whatever the hell music you want to play.
Yeah. And like, I've always been able to make money. I mean, not millions of dollars, obviously, but always make money playing music ever since I was in high school. We were in high school and we got booked to play a gig at a bar. We couldn't even hang out there on the breaks. We had to stay in the kitchen and hide, but I've always been able to make money playing music. But that's also a curse, because you get sucked into the cover scene and then you're not focusing on doing something original because you're getting paid doing covers every night. So you kind of get sucked in. It's almost like a bartender or a server. You make that great money, but so you're not going out and getting a career because you gotta it's a slower grind.
What about you guys transitioning into start off with 2 original songs a night?
We've talked about it.
You know, Crazy Bitch works.
Gosh, what a great song.
So all you need is one song. All you need is that's the DNA of that song.
And the funny thing is, I do a lot of stuff with a guy out of San Diego who, by the way, he watched your channel. I think you and him have commented in a live feed before. I think he talked about RockNRollLife.
RockNRollLife.
This guy, his name is Brad. He was my old bass player in LA. He lives in Carlsbad, and him and I, via the internet, we record songs for placement for like TV shows and stuff. And so he'll send me, hey, they've got this kind of a lead. They want a song that sounds like this. So we'll write stuff. So I do have some pretty cool tunes that are written. But, it's just like at the bar, the 22-year-old girls, that's just what I keep thinking. That's what the target audience is for these bar gigs, because that's what brings the liquor sales for the dudes. And these girls, they don't want to hear it.
So that's it, dude. You write a song about the girls. The whole song's got to be about the girls. You come up with a name like Crazy Bitch or Wild, whatever, or something along that line, and sing it about them, point at them, you're selling it to them. And then you could sell merch with the title of the song.
I know, because we actually sell merch too. We've got T-shirts and it's crazy. We sell merch. We sign autographs all the time. Like when we come to some of these towns, they act like we are Guns N' Roses.
You guys are ready for this.
It's the craziest thing. My girlfriend's like, you guys are in a cover band, but everybody just like, if I'm out at a bar or club not performing, people will be like, oh, Jay Stevens is here. Can we get a picture with you? Can we get a picture? All the time. She goes, it's the weirdest thing, but it's like mid-America famous.
Yeah. I'm going to implore you, if I have to write the damn song
that's
myself,
what I'm saying. Why don't you write the song and I'll sing it.
Okay. I can do that.
I've got my office here at the radio station is a recording studio. So I'm here just sitting all day in a recording studio.
I'll cook up something and toss it your way, because man, you guys are ready to just have 1-2 songs, and then eventually maybe you do something ridiculous like sell cassettes.
Oh, dude,
wouldn't that be hilarious?
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
having like cassettes with like pink, or
Yeah, oh
neon
yeah, the old school
or
style.
something
Yeah,
old school with the little fold out thing
and a fan club hotline number.
fan club hotline. Yeah. Do you guys have a phone number?
No, I would just put my phone number on there.
Dude.
Dude, that's a brilliant. All right, let's trademark this idea before somebody sees this video and steals it.
Yeah. You
Tell
better.
Randy-O, don't jump on our shit. This is for us only. He can't do
Hey
this.
man, here's the thing. Here I put all this information out on the channel. The amount of people who actually act on these ideas is very, very few. So I say, hey, anybody that's got the chutzpah and the drive to do it, do it. But think about this, man. What if you had, because here's the thing. We had a hotline, shock hotline.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
And it was the bass player's home phone number. And it would ring off, whenever the ads would run.
I'm sure.
It would ring off the hook. And you'd literally be like, oh, should we answer it? Yeah, we're bored. Answer it. Answer it. And hey, these girls want us to meet them at at some place.
Oh,
or they want to come over to the house or there's a party. They're inviting us to a party or whatever. It was like, before the internet.
Those were the days, dude. Those were the days, man. Like, I mean, there was so many times when I would go to a show. I was at, you remember the band Neve by chance?
Sounds familiar.
They got signed to Columbia. I was there the night they got signed. They were young kids. They had a song on the I Know What You Did Last Summer soundtrack. Anyway, I was at one of their shows once, and it was like one of those theaters like on Wilshire that are like, maybe 1,000 seaters. And, meeting a girl there. And literally while the show's going on, like, while the show's going on, sitting in the chairs there. And those are the days, man,
Yeah. It was wild, man. And, but you know what? Some of these things that, and I remember when I started my channel, I don't know, 12 years ago or something.
This channel?
Yeah, dude, I've had this channel
that
for like
long?
20 years. And what I did is I never really worked on it. I never really, I just occasionally would put out a video or whatever. And then one day, about a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? I need to get to work on this.
And how often do you post? And
every single day.
Dude.
Wow. I produce a video every single day.
Yeah, they're produced well, and a year and a half makes sense because I've been going back that far.
I've done 4 videos in one day. Shoot, edit, but not post. Just stack them up.
Yeah.
Like I could probably take about 2 months off and just air whatever I have in the archives, but they get better. So I leave the older ones in a members section for people stories that I might not even want to be mainstream.
Yeah.
Stay for the.
Yeah, I've seen the members only thing you have too. Well, I mean, so a year and a half would make sense because it seems like over the past year and a half, that's kind of where I've been going back and seeing these videos. Ever since I saw the first one, I just kind of keep going back, and now they pop up all the time, and I'm like, oh, cool, and watch this one. But it seems like that's when you started to really jump, because I noticed that when you recorded the Adam Paradise one, you had about 14,000 subscribers, and then when I was watching it a year later, you're at almost 26,000 now.
Yeah, if you go back 2 years, I think when I started working on this, I had 365.
Wow. Man.
So just this is something that you could be. You've got the chutzpah and the drive.
Yeah,
here's the thing, man. Everything is a video. If I really buckled down, and I mean, the problem is I can't put out any more videos than I'm putting out. But I could literally, like, everything I did each day could, in theory, be a video. If I decide to change strings on a guitar, that could be a video. If I decide to drive down the street and or something, I mean, it's kind of the way it is.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but also though it's like I said, what hooked me in was that soothing voice, man. This like. and you're just talking to the camera, this smooth, like these interview ones are cool, but the ones where you're just you and you're just talking, you're like, it's almost like what's on your mind today. And you're like, this, and you're done. And it's this smooth. Groupies never die. They just get old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yes. I see it at my shows.
Yeah. It's and I've told this on my channel, and not to, because dude, there were people when it started rising, I started noticing other channels copying,
Oh,
like
yeah.
copying the topics, copying this,
Thumbnail.
but they can't copy the delivery.
Yeah. Or the stories, you
Or
have a
the
story that you
stories. But the delivery is really it. And if you get in that zone, it's like that trance mode. And
flow state. Yeah.
And I say it's a combination of Kurtz from Apocalypse Now and Spicoli.
Okay, yeah, that's a good comparison.
So the warrior poet who's gone off the rails and lost his mind, and then Spicoli, with this California stoner, kind of mentality, and those two things combined kind of make up what that is, and it's from being on a tour bus and watching Apocalypse Now every night.
Oh gosh.
I would get in this thing where it'd be like 2 a.m. and let's put it on.
Oh my God.
Because the concept of getting on a vehicle like they do in the film, they get on that boat and they go down river and they start getting crazier and starts getting
like pirates, the same thing, it's
very similar to a tour bus,
Man, dude, well, crazy, dude. I don't know how long we've been going. I don't know how long you want to go, but
Hey, we'll keep going. I mean, you ain't got no gig tonight, man.
No, man. The snow killed us. This gig would have been a big one too. About 600 people did at this place. We play it every other month, Lake of the Ozarks, and it's like a house of blues. It's got 2 levels, and we do real well up there, man. And they pay cash too. A lot of these gigs pay cash still.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, we pay our taxes on it. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. I pay my taxes on all the money.
Hey, those are tips, dude. There's no tax on tips, bro.
Yeah, no tax on tips. That's all my nut bucks. They call them nut bucks when they come out my pants.
Wow. How? Okay, so you got girls stuffing money in your pants.
Yeah. Some nights there'll be hundreds of dollars in my pants.
What's the most money you've had?
800 one time in my pants, or 800-ish. Yeah, one girl. Her husband was handing out $100 bills to all the girls, and they were putting them in my pants, stuffing them in there.
Wow.
Yeah. The hell.
So what's and now here's an interesting question. When it's stuffed down your pants, do you split it with the other guys, or it's yours?
Oh, that's the tax for me not being able to eat donuts every day. That's the tax for me having to keep my body in shape.
Woo.
And plus, I mean, it goes back into the band. I buy all the lights and all that stuff. So when stuff breaks, it all comes full circle.
Yeah. And look, dude, I don't want any bucks that's been,
they're wet. They're wet, sledded, glittery. Check this out. I'll take all the 5s, 10s, 20s, stuff like that. The big bills, I put them in one spot. Then all the ones that are just nasty and sweaty and glittery and crumpled, I'll throw them in a big bag every night at the end. So my closet just stuffs with big bags full of ones. Wow. So then when it gets too full, I will sit down and I'll straighten them out and I'll stack them in $100 stacks. So I go to the Bank of America, and I bring them in and I'm like, hey, I want to deposit these. And so she's like, okay. And she's like already looking at me weird, first of all. Yeah. The other bank teller goes, oh, I know who he is, right? So I'm like, hey, what's up? So she runs up to the machine, grrr. Well, after a little bit, she stops and she comes back and she's counting. And I'm like, how come you're not using the machine? She goes, all the glitter on them clogged up the machine. So I'm not allowed to take them to the bank anymore. Wow. I have to go to the ATM machine and put $75 a day in the ATM machine.
Oh my God. So that's funny. Do you think the ladies think you're a male stripper or something like that?
I don't know. I mean, they sure treat me like it. They'll lick my stomach, and I'll be sweaty and stuff up there. They lick me. The person who has the hardest job of all the shows is my girlfriend. Because
how does she handle that?
she's smoking hot. Like, think Carmen Electra in 1988, right? Like, but she's cool with it. She knows it's what I do, and she knows the money. But she goes, sometimes she says they'll go a little too far, and she's like, I don't know about this, because sometimes they'll linger,
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously I'm coming off that I want to sleep with all of them, and I'm
yeah,
single as I'm,
yeah, yeah,
the show part.
yeah.
She's pretty cool with it, but she has the hardest job for sure, of dealing with that every night.
It's tough work, but somebody's got to do it,
Hey,
right?
man, yeah, somebody's she gets to spend it, so she gets
Well,
to
there
spend it,
you
man.
go, right?
Yeah. What's funny is I was when I was thinking about doing this interview, I was going to tell you of like the most non-rock and roll moment I've ever had in my life, because you always tell these great stories of the Strip and stuff like this. I was after New Orleans, I moved back to LA, and this was probably 2000. It's right after Katrina, so probably 2005, 2006. And I was at this beach parties by in Redondo Beach. They have these big street parties and stuff and bands. And somebody at the end of the day hands me a flyer, and it says Stephen Pearcy, the voice of Rat, playing at this little club there in Redondo Beach with special guest True to Crew, a Motley Crue tribute. This is before I knew those guys, and I go, oh, we are going for sure. So we pound some more beers, get cleaned up. We show up at this club. There's maybe 20 people there, probably 15 people, right? And these Motley Crue guys come out and they look and sound just like Motley Crue, Shout Out the Devil era. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm standing right in front of the stage. There's nobody there. They're playing all the hits. They sound just like them. And I was new to the tribute scene at that time. I hadn't really known this was a whole thing. I had known Ralph and Atomic Punks, from back in
Yeah,
the day, in Metal School, Metal Shop, and all
yeah,
those guys. But so I was like, this is amazing. So they get done. And then here comes Stephen Pearcy, and it was I think it was Alex Grossi on guitar, kind of the piece together band that he had for a while. But they're playing all the hits, the Rat hits.
yeah.
I'm like, this is my high school era. This is the greatest night ever. I'm standing right here. There's nobody here. It's like a private party. And so the girls I was with, they jump up on stage because it's a very low stage. They jump up there and they're kind of dancing and having fun, And Stephen goes, chicks get off the stage. The band's playing. Chicks get off the stage. The girls wouldn't get off stage. He goes to all the players and he stops them. We're not going to play till the chicks get off the stage. I was like, are you kidding me right now? There's nobody here. Yeah, so we all left. We all left, man.
Wow.
But later, I just think he was having a bad night because
Yeah,
I saw him 2 years ago because we both lived in Culver City at the same time when he had that Rant Mansion West out there. I saw him. He played a show out here not too long ago, and I was backstage and hanging out. And he's a super cool cat. He's amazing cool cat. He was just
yeah,
I think it was just a bad night. I mean,
yeah,
to go from arenas to that down, there was that dark period when these bands couldn't get these festival gigs and casino gigs. They were playing. Ugh.
yeah. It's crazy that the business did that to everybody, and that's something that I try to come to grips with. And talking to Adam from Paradise and him telling you how the labels are going, nope, no more of this happy stuff and all this. And people don't want to accept that there's people with power that make decisions.
Yeah.
And it affects people's moods. You guys go out and play music that people have a great time.
Party, yeah, party,
And it's sexy, and it's.
I mean, I've done the grunge thing too. When that whole thing hit, I was like, well, I guess we're wearing Dark Martens now, and I guess
Yeah.
I'm putting a flannel on. And instead of singing like Sebastian Bach, I'm going to sing like Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
And so I did it. I had a really good band in the early '90s, a great band. We had a great demo, but we were in Hawaii, so it's like kind of hard. But that was a great band, and it was all. I mean, it was very Alice in Chainsy kind of stuff. But I had to train. Warrant tried to do it too, but they just couldn't do it. They started coming out in Doc Martens, and what happened? Like, people talk about grunge killing hair metal, but I don't think it was so much that. I feel like hair metal kind of killed itself, because when you have the original Warrant, great singer, great songs, great band, Motley Crue, all this. But when you start getting down to these bands that all have the same names, Paradise, Crazy Licks, Hot Licks,
Yeah,
Cherry
yeah,
Street, Cherry
yeah,
Lick, right? And they
yeah,
all got the same names, and then it's watered down versions,
yeah,
and the guys aren't as
yeah,
talented.
yeah,
It's just who can look the coolest. So that was all kind of collapsing, which really I feel is what country music is starting to do now.
yeah,
They all got the same name, Luke Bryant, Luke Combs, Luke, this, that.
yeah,
They're all using the same session players with the
yeah,
same amp on every
yeah,
solo. And now the songs, you got the ones that do write great songs, the Morgan Wallens, but there's so many of these next level guys that is just phoning it in, man, to ride the trend. I feel that's going to be the next one to kind of
yeah. I
fall off.
wonder. I wonder. I thought that the other day. But the other thing that's happened with Nashville is it did used to be sort of the pretty boy country singer dude, and then you've had this kind of influx of the
Good old boys.
Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, and that kind of thing. And the other thing about country singers is a lot of those guys, as far as being vocalists, they never had to have power and project until all of a sudden they're having to play these like arena gigs. Some of the guys do a better job of it than others.
Chris Stapleton, dude.
Yeah. Well, he can just flat out sing.
That dude is an incredible singer.
He can sing the phone book, but there's a couple other big names that they just don't have power voices. They don't have a lot of air coming out when they sing, but they ultimately end up, you're playing in arenas, and
Right.
it's an interesting thing.
The girlfriend is a big country music fan. She's a lot younger than me. She's 36. So she was born in 89, you know what I'm saying? So she missed all that era. So she's a big country fan. And since being with me, she's kind of now the queen of rock now out here, basically, and knows all the stuff. But so I listen to country a lot because like she plays it all the time. And I hear, the good songs, but then when I hear some of these, I'm like, this is the most cookie cutter nonsense song. And then there's another one. And that's the kind of stuff, because like when I was talking about the Hollywood bands, you've got the great singers like Sebastian Bach, Janie Lane. But then you've got, I know you've talked about him before and we don't want to bash him, but Stevie Rachelle from Tough, right? Look just like Bret Michaels, okay? Yeah. That's great, good looking dude, but that's a huge knock if you're trying to get a record deal. You look just like the other dude,
Yeah.
And then his voice nowhere near what these other singers were. And then the songs,
Yeah.
you compare Slave to the Grind to Tough, What Comes Around, or whatever their name is, and there's no comparison,
Yeah. The thing with Tough is they just had a gigantic female following.
Huge. I mean, unbelievable.
One of those bands you'd go to, and probably because of the lead singer, he photographed very well.
Beautiful man back in the day. Beautiful man.
And I don't think I ever went to a Tough show, but I hung out with his guitar player, Jorge.
Yeah.
I hung out with him.
Nobody knows what happened to him. Did he die?
From last I heard, he's like, Junkie and living on the streets or something. I don't know, dude. I hate that's what happened, but it's part of why I do this channel is to try to figure it all out. It's like those late mornings or early mornings when you're laying there and you're trying to work out the puzzle in your head. Why did this happen? And why is it that guy that I used to have beers with now he's disappeared?
Yeah, that's the saddest, is when it's like drugs and stuff, especially those bands. Those guys were all so like literally ready to make the next level. Yeah, that was just a wild time, man. But everybody looked so cool. I remember when I first got to LA in 1987, opened up that band, I'm like, God, these guys, I did not look that cool back then at all. 18-year-old Jay was not that cool at all.
Yeah.
And these guys just looked perfect, man,
Yeah. It was hard to, dude, I remember there was one band called, was it Lash?
Lash Tavis?
I think they just shortened it, but they looked like Chippendales. They were all just totally.
I think the singer worked at the Subway by my house.
Really?
Because I went in there and this beautiful guy with long blonde hair is working at Subway, and his necklace said Lash on it. And so I said, "Hey, are you in a band?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm in Lash Tavis. I'm a singer for Lash Tavis or something like that." Yeah, I
Wow.
remember. Yeah, that was the key. Once it got to the point where every guy was so beautiful,
Yeah.
I mean, which basically is kind of what Warrant did. I think they were the first one where each guy was a good-looking dude, and
Yeah.
then to top that off with great songs,
Yeah.
gosh, man.
Yeah. They had some songs that was probably a huge difference. But where do you think, what do you think the trends in music are going? Obviously guys from our generation, we're still wanting to hear some rock and music and all that. The kids, how young is the audience that's listening to you guys?
I don't know. My youngest daughter's 15. That's the one that's still at home, and her playlist is so eclectic. Her playlist will be Led Zeppelin, and then it will be Post Malone, and then it'll be these people I've never even heard of, like these singers. I'm like, I've never heard these guys at all, and all her friends are listening to these people. I don't know where they're finding them. Spotify, maybe. I mean, my daughter has songs on Spotify, originals, and she's got a music video out. She's had that since she was 13. She's had
Wow.
songs there. I helped produce them for her, but she's writing the songs, and I just kind of help structure them, and then I know how to record them, so I'll do
Yeah.
that. But she's got some bangers out there, and she's 15, doing musical theater.
Wow.
We're working on their song of hers right now. Yeah, I'll send you the link. She's got her dad's voice for sure. She's got that same quality rock voice.
That's amazing, man. Well, maybe she's going to be the next big one, right?
Maybe.
And
I'm
then
real worried about AI, man. I'm worried about AI, dude. I've got a guy that I do a podcast with, this old cat, and he's somehow, for being an old dude, he's figured out these AI songs. He's taking all his old songs and he's reimagining them as country, as metal, and it's getting better and better. And I'm like, I couldn't produce something to sound that good at
yeah,
all. It's that I think is going to be more freaky, I think, than people think.
yeah. It's that technology is there. I feel it's eliminating the avenue of song demos.
Oh, for
You
sure.
you no longer need to do a demo or pay musicians to demo your songs.
Yeah, probably great for songwriters, right? Great for
Good
songwriters.
for songwriters. And at some point, I'm sure of course, it's already happening. People are releasing these as their original songs, but at some point, Nashville will start releasing it as finished songs. The laptop producers, the younger producers are going to come in and they're going to go, okay, let's use 80% of this AI, these tracks, 80% of those stems, and then we'll throw some real guitar over the top and we'll throw the singer's vocal over the top, and there's the
Wow, so it could
production.
really hurt the studio industry down there.
It could devastate it, because the demo thing is how you would break into the master session. You would start off playing, these songwriters would come in with 5 or 6 songs that they were going to pitch to a major label artist, and they would hire not the top studio guys, but the guys kind of next in line. They would have them come in, play, produce these songs. And now that's not needed. I saw a video the other day with John Oates from Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
And he was talking to a studio player, and he was telling him how he wrote a song with another songwriter. And John Oates said, "This is good, man. We should probably demo this." And he goes, "Oh, you want to demo it?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, boom, on his phone. Boom, hits the button. There's the demo. And then and John Oates said it even changed one of the chords. And when I listened to it, I realized it was better than what I had.
Yeah.
It made like a creative choice that was better than what he had originally had come up with.
Wow. Yeah, that's so I don't know, man, if there's going to be much. I mean, it sounds stereotypical. AI is going to take all the jobs, but I really feel it's really headed that direction, man, with songwriting. So maybe the cool thing will be like acoustic singer-songwriters, like, oh, this chick is real. She's up there with just a guitar and singing these emotional songs. I mean,
if the industry would promote that, what needs to happen is there needs to be more punk, there needs to be more jazz, there needs to be more just rowdy rock and roll bands that are the drummer's sloppy as hell and the guitar player's half cocked.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's guys doing that is the problem, man. I see like Dirty Honey, right? They're kind of
yeah,
a good rock band. I saw them open up. They were playing a festival out here. Like, but I mean, I guess they're making a living doing it, but I just don't. I don't know. It's just so hard, I think, to get to that next level. Like, will there be another Taylor Swift? I don't know, man. You know, she might be
feels
the last Mohican.
feels like the songs are always the kind of the point that it doesn't match the quality of the songs that you from the artist previously. I don't think Greta Van Fleet ever wrote anything better than Led Zeppelin.
So funny. I was just gonna say Greg Van Fleet.
That's a tough thing to do, to try to write better songs than they did. And then
And the crazy thing is, the guy says that no, we don't. We're not influenced by Led Zeppelin, right? Didn't he say that? And everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, we're influenced by Aerosmith." I'm like, "Dude, you sound exactly like Robert Plant."
yeah,
Come on.
yeah, exactly. You know, and so like Dirty Honey, the problem, I think they're great. I think the singer sounds great. I think they look good. The guitar players, you know, plays good. The whole band is great, but I can't really name a tune.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not. They're not that big enough level. I mean, maybe I'm not in that scene enough. I don't know. You know, like our station doesn't play anything new. It's all, you know, it's all the hits from the 80s and then 70s. You know, so I don't really have my ear to the ground on that. We do have a station in the building that's new rock, but those ones, it seems like they're just cycling through bands. A song will come out, and then next week it's a different band, different song. You know,
Yeah,
Falling in
yeah.
Reverse is one of the Falling in Reverse and Avenged Sevenfold. I feel are two bands that have kind of taken it to a next level. Are you familiar
Yeah.
with Falling in Reverse?
I've heard the name. I'm more familiar with Avenged Sevenfold. I've
I'm
seen
going to
those
send
guys.
you a link to probably the most amazing song music video combination is a Falling in Reverse one called Watch the World Burn. It's it's genre bending and it's the production quality. These guys are like shooting movies for their music videos.
Wow.
They've really gone a long way from like the Vans tour to what they're doing now. I'll send you this link to it. It's way cutting edge. It's mind blowing how cutting edge it is. So, but he's
That's
selling he's
cool.
filling he's selling arenas, you know.
Yeah. I
So
think
there's a
it
few
can
that can
be
do it.
done. Yeah, I
It
think
can be
it's
done.
yeah, it can be done. It comes down to the material. It comes down to undeniability. It comes down to hustling your ass off like Jay Stevens. It comes down to having the stones to get out there and deliver the goods night after night. And man, I want to thank you for this
Bro,
incredible.
hey, thank you. It's so great to meet you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll send you guys. I sent you Rick's contact. I'll send you Steve Summers too, because these are all guys with great stories, and the story's always the same. We had a record deal offer. We turned it down because we were going to get a better deal, and that's always what happens to all these guys.
Yeah,
I just watched a documentary on Amazon about a band called Tough Luck out of Florida. Great documentary. It's worth the $4 to rent it. You should check
yeah,
it out. It's a great documentary. But same story, man.
yeah.
But hey, we're still alive and we're still rocking and we still
We're
got our hair,
We
Brad.
still got our hair, dude. Exactly. And we're having a good time and doing what we love and chasing our passion. And I give you a big salute for doing that. Well, you don't have to grow up, you don't have to get a real job, but you are gonna have to hustle.
I'm keeping the rock flag going, baby.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother.
Hey, peace, brother. Peace and
Hey,
love.
stay warm, brother, and I'll see you soon.
See ya.
Later.